Good afternoon, abnormals, and welcome back to the Ministry of Abnormality YouTube live broadcast. I am your host, O Abnormal, and today is Friday, April 12th of 2023. Welcome back to my show. I'm having some camera difficulties right now. What has been crashing lately is not OBS, but actually NVIDIA Broadcast. So let's see if I can get that to work. And I can. Great. Okay. Let's see. Let's block this camera. Wait, what? No. Okay. There we go. I think that's it. I'm just gonna not post on Instagram. I'm way too on the clock here. No, not on the clock. We just got home. So just came in. So I have to organize my stuff. Okay, wait. Okay, here we are. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Mao. Hello, Sabrina. Hello, Pew. How is everybody? Delicious and refreshing. Okay. Video. Stay. Okay. Let's make sure I don't have anything else. So, wait, no, camera, why are you moving? I didn't tell you to move. Camera. Yo.
You want to change camera?
Yeah, the camera was moving, but I didn't tell it to move. Okay, so we're back, and welcome back to our show. Let me just okay, here we have Photoshop open. I think we're ready. So welcome back. Today is Friday, Art Challenge Friday, and for today's Art Challenge, I wanted to focus on something that most of us know, but a lot of us need to practice. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go over the 4 concepts very quickly and very simply, just in case anybody is not 100% clear on what all these concepts and what all these 5 concepts that we're speaking about kind of unite, right? And then I'm gonna go with character design, right? We're gonna go with the character design, which is probably, when you're designing a fantasy or a sci-fi character, it's probably where you see the most this kind of application, but it does apply to vehicles. It applies to everything, right? So let me see, what size am I gonna go with today? Also, why is Photoshop not acting as if okay, whatever. I'm gonna go with let's go with 200 by 4000. That should be vertical. Okay. I'm gonna go horizontal. Okay, and we're gonna save this as Art Challenge 2023 0512. Here we go. Okay. Did I watch Wild Blue Studios on Twitch because they were just talking about this in yesterday's stream? I honestly don't even know who they are, and I know that sounds kind of like Wild Blue Studios. Who are they? But I actually don't know. So So, yeah. Okay. So it is a very hot day today. Now, I know that um actually I don't know nothing. It's just so hot today. It is very hot today. So I'm actually just here. We were out today looking for a new gym to transfer to because we're not happy at the gym we're going to. There's never parking space at this gym, and it's always full. So there's never the machine you want. But we basically went out like at 10 a.m. and rode all over the area that we would be willing to drive to go to a gym, only to find out in the end that we probably can't make the transfer anyway. So while we were doing that, we were also looking into options for Pew to maybe get her own motorcycle, or alternatively an electric scooter. But it was all fruitless. It was fun. It was fun, but fruitless. But fun. But fruitless. And yet fun. Anyway. Electric roller skates? Yo, Pew. Mom says you should get electric roller skates. Well, Pew was a competitive speed skater. Kissing Wolves, it has been quite some time. How are you? How have you been? Okay, so today we are talking about design fundamentals. And those 5 design fundamentals that we're going to talk about today are 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 4 is very far away. Okay. 4 and 5. Do I need to change this nib? No, not yet. I've been going through it honestly, hence why I've not been around. Should be able to be back more though. What about you? Well, I'm sorry to read sorry. I'm sorry to read that you've been going through it, but I'm also pleased that you say that you should be able to get back more now, so I assume that things have gotten quite better. I would love to know what you've been up to. If you can tell us. Of course, we understand if you can. And if you can't, well, we still have... I don't know what's going on. We're still glad to have you back. As for me, well, let's see. Wow, we moved to a new apartment. It's tiny. It's far. We got a new motorcycle. We're looking for a motorcycle for Pew. What else is new? I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so today we're going to talk about design fundamentals. And our 5 design fundamentals are going to be shapes, sizes, repetition, value, and detail. And we're very, very quickly going to go over the 5 so that everybody's clear on what they are. And also because, you know, it's good to make sure that we are all All on it. I had to get a crappy 9 to 5 job with which somewhat ruined my mental health. And then my little pooch passed away. I'm sorry to read that. You have my condolences. Getting back into illustration and trying to get that to work again, though. Hey. We never give up. That's... Oh, and there you go. Quit the job this week and feel like a new woman. Well, there you go. Bet that was a weight off. I'm almost afraid to ask what the job was. Okay, so let's start with shapes. Now, shapes is very... Now, we start this whole idea with what is basically the 30-70 rule. And this is going to apply to everything. To all the other 5 things that we got here. And so the 30-70 rule determines that whatever your image is 30% of has to be 70% of the other. And by the rule of what is different stands out, the 30% is always going to become the focal point. Right? Whatever is different stands out. So 30% will always be the most important thing, which also leads us into the Pareto principle, or I'm sure some economist or something is going to tell me that's not a right application of the Pareto principle. And I know that we're geeks, but we don't have to be annoying geeks. So let's not go there. So basically the Pareto principle, which is that 20% of an image, well, it's not applied to image, it's more applied to economics and stuff like that, but basically where 20% of any system is going to do 80% of the work, and the 80% of the system is going to do the 20% of the work, and we can put these together, basically establishing that whatever is the 30% of our image is going to do most of the work, especially because we're not talking about like exact numbers here or anything of the sort. So whatever we design, we're going to keep that rule of thirds, and that 1/3 of our image is one thing and 2/3 of our image are another, and the smaller amount is going to do most of the work. So this is something we're going to apply to all the principles that we're going to look at. The first one is very simple. We basically have angular shapes and we have round shapes. And according to the Pixar principles of shape in design, I'm not the biggest Pixar fan, but they do have a very, very, very fascinating established design principle when it comes to shapes. We have blocky shapes, which are heavy and stable and rigid. We have triangle shapes, which are, of course, lighter. They're fast. They're unstable. Of course, you know, visually, they are aggressive. And we have round shapes, which are nice. Well, I'm not going to go with nice. But, you know, they are soft. And they are malleable, if that's even how you spell that. And they are accessible. They are, you know, something that you want to touch. I was in a call center on the state pensioner line. Lots of trying to help old people that are crying about partners dying, or kids crying about their parents dying, or not being able to put their heating on or pay for food because the pension hasn't been sorted, and then not being able to do anything about it because I have to follow the somewhat corrupted processes. Yeah, that does sound like something that would just, you know, weigh heavy. Well, then I'm glad you're not there anymore. Okay, so that's shapes. Let's divide here. Is a squircle a thing? App icons use squircle. Squares with rounded edges. Don't know how legit of a word that is. Well, think about it this way. So if you have a square, the square is really, really rigid. Hey, Yermax! How are you, Yermax? How's your Friday going? So the square is really, really rigid. And one of the things that makes the square so rigid and so stable is what we call the baseline. Right? So the baseline is one of the things that makes the square so stable. And it's that when you look at how much of the square is on the floor, it's a lot, right? It occupies a lot of space. Now, a circle, on the other hand, tends to be a lot less stable, right? The baseline of a circle is very, very small. So, yes, this is actually the Friday Art Challenge. We are going to make a design following the 5 principles or the 5 fundamentals of design, but we're going over them first so that we're all clear. So the circle, what it does is that if you look at the square also has pointed edges and stuff like that. But that's where we're not talking about like just very, very, very precise things. So, for example, a square, because the idea is that you mix them, right? You grab these and you mix them. So you're not just making a square or a circle or a triangle. For example, you have a square, and if you round the edges, then you're kind of, you're kind of softening the square, right? So now it's not that, it's not that stable, it's not that immovable. Now its baseline is a little smaller, and so now your square is a little softer, right? And if you combine that with, maybe a round shape or something like that, you start to get somebody that is very, very stable, but maybe not that rough. Same thing goes with a circle. If you start to square out a circle, suddenly it's... So you combine these shapes, right? So a squircle, the combination of a circle and a square is definitely viable in terms of design, because you don't design with just one shape. You start to mix them up a little bit. You can, for example, make a square and make it very, very angular and add a bunch of pointy things to it, and suddenly it's a very aggressive square, a very big, aggressive kind of thing. Okay, all that. So then we're going to go into sizes. Now, sizes is one of the ones that I think is the least common. Most of us focus on a lot of the others, but sizes is one that you don't see mentioned as much. And the idea of sizes is that your image must be made out of big things, medium things, and little things. And normally what's going to happen is that the big things contain the medium things, which contain the little things, right? So, for example, if you have a character, you normally want to have, for example, a big design element. Let's say we have a cape, right? So we have a very, very, very big design element. And then we're going to add to that medium things, right? Like that design element is going to have medium things. Right? So the medium things. And then we're going to have little things. So what you want to make sure is that when we join sizes with... Hello, Night Cow! So when we join sizes with repetition, what we're going to have is we're going to have this variation of sizes, shapes, and we're going to start repeating stuff. So for example, we can have this very, very big cape, and then we can have a smaller version of the cape here. a medium version of the cape. And so that's going to give us, like that's going to give us the variety we need. We have some things that are small, some things that are medium, some things that are big. Now, if we start to design the character, for example, so we got this element here, like the shoulder pad, right? And then we're going to give it, I don't know, like a cod piece, and we make it the same size right there. And then we're going to add boots, and they're about the same size. And then we're going to have... everything starts to be the same size, right? And so the problem is that this design ends up being boring. Because everything is more or less the same size. So what you want to do is you want to design in a way that you are changing it up a little bit with those sizes. So for example, we're going to have the big cape. Right? And we're going to... so we have the big cape and the medium shoulder pad. And then we can add to that shoulder pad a smaller element. Right? Like we start adding a little bit of variety in the sizes. Making sure that everything in the character is not the same size, right? Like we start to add that variety to it. So now, for example, when we go to add the neck, let's say we're going to add a collar and stuff like that. So we can go, okay, what would work better? Would we, for example, a big collar give this more variety, especially if the big collar is surrounded by small elements, right? So we give the character this big collar. It's surrounded by smaller elements. So we can start adding much smaller elements. So now we have something that is not going to be, that where things are not going to be the same size. And when we're going to add an accessory to the belt, we can make it small, right? So now, but then, for example, this, and this have very similar sizes. So we might want to make this a little bigger, right? Start finding that kind of balance between things. Maybe in this case, okay, so we have these kind of size variations. Okay, what if then for this shoulder, we were going to try maybe either nothing at all, something very small, or maybe in this case, something a lot bigger, right? So when we try with something a lot bigger, maybe we're going to get a much more interesting result. Now, in that case, maybe it's going to work better if we contrast this with a small shoulder on this side, and we got a big one on this side. Now we have an asymmetrical design right there. Right. So we're basically looking at, yeah, you can start playing around with those design principles to make sure your design is actually interesting and doesn't get monotonous and predictable. Maybe you want to start adding this kind of size variation and stuff like that. And so it's always the same design principle. We have big, medium, and small. Right? And so we want to have that variety. We want to have that variation. Then when we put that together with repetition is where we start to get very, very interesting design. Why? Because repetition is going to establish that whatever we put in an image, like whatever we decide is going to go into an image, we have to start repeating elements from the image because we need to maintain design consistency. So if we continue with our character here that we're designing, for the explanation, and for example, we have this shape for the color, then we want to make sure that there are other triangular shapes in the image, right? We want to make sure that there's other triangles in the image. So, okay, we put another one here. But look, here's a mistake. This triangle and this triangle are basically the same size. It's kind of boring. So, what if we change the size of this triangle, right? Like, okay, now we're gonna have a different size triangle, and we start repeating. See, like big, medium, small triangles. We're going with triangles. Now, of course, we're not gonna make everything triangles, but we start with triangles. In this case, right? Okay, and then we're gonna have this shoulder pad right here. We're gonna hang some stuff from the shoulder pad. Nice little variation there, big, medium, small. And we have the cape. So maybe we need some more triangles, right? Maybe we need a little bit more of triangle repetition in this image. Or maybe we need to start exploring another shape. But let's go with triangle for now, right? So if we're going to add more triangles, maybe that's something we can start adding here. Like, okay, now we have ourselves a little small triangle. Or maybe we can have a very long triangle. Like right there. Now this kind of continues this triangle. We have to decide if we think that's interesting or not. Now, maybe we can shorten this triangle, but it starts to even it out with the triangle up top. But I am going to shorten this one. And then let's just kind of explore a little bit more with this one. Maybe a little bit smaller like this one. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so now that we have this triangle, look, there's another triangle right here. And then we have another here. Now, our shapes are getting a little bit monotonous. And it's all becoming very, very pointy. Now, this character is starting to look very, very aggressive, right? This character is starting to look very, very unapproachable. Now, if that's what we want, all good. But, you know, maybe let's start to see. Like, for example, if we start to use that shape, let's say in the shoulder pad. Oh, now we got ourselves like a horn situation going on here. And I'm gonna just go with a large one again, a medium one, and let's go with those little short one. Right? So now we're getting a little bit of a language here, right? It's very, very pointy character. Character is very pointy. Okay. So we're gonna go with the boots. You know, when we go with the boots, I'm going to stay with those triangles, right? I'm going to stay with those triangles. I'm going to keep that fundamental design right there. Stay with those triangles. Maybe have an interesting shape for the boot right there. And we're going to give the character maybe some high heels. That also makes it very, very pointy. Right? So as you can see, we start repeating shapes. We got ourselves something going on here with triangle, triangle, triangle. And maybe we can start contrasting it, you know, to go with the other design principles. So maybe here we're going with repetition. So maybe we can start going, okay, what about pointy ears? Okay, pointy ears. And what if we were to add maybe some, well, what do we want? Do we want to stabilize the character? Or do we want the character to be very unstable? right? Do we want the character to be, you know, like not just not sable? So for example, there we can start contrasting it with circles. So, okay, what if we add a circular shape here? Smooth circles, right? Like maybe we add something there. Now look at this. Here we got this space, and this space. That's kind of monotonous because we're evening those spaces. So a lot more interesting if we leave this space, then maybe we go with the space here, and then we let this one be all big and such, right? Maybe even add another one here. And that actually shows me, oh, okay, maybe we can have ourselves a very interesting design here with maybe some metals and stuff like that hanging from there. Some very dangly stuff. And I'm also going to add some variety to those shapes. All right. So, okay, I got myself some circles going on now. Okay. Got myself some circles going on now. So I definitely should have that somewhere else, right? Okay, I can hang some here from the shoulder pad, where maybe I'll want to add a little bit more horns. And maybe what say we oh, I mean, for starters, we can just add a circle to its forehead or something like that, like something in the design right there. Although I actually maybe go for the circle and the triangle. Oh my god. And well, yeah, we do have the gloves, and maybe the gloves can also be pointy gloves. Kind of have a little 70s anime style going on there with pointy gloves. So that leads us to value. And so when we talk about value, we're not referring to lighting, right? Atmospheric value or anything like that. What we're talking is about basically what part of the images are dark and what part of the images are light. So, like if we make the inside of this collar dark, then we make this circle dark, right? Like we start to establish contrasts in the image so that different elements of the image pop out, right? So if I keep the belt light, then I can keep this whole suit here dark, right? And maybe what we need to do... Oh, here's another giant triangle. And so maybe what we need to do there is, okay, let's see, what else can we make dark? Well, we got the dark boots. And what we're establishing here is just contrast between the value of the different things. Doesn't matter how we light it. If the shirt is dark, it's dark, right? So something like that. Maybe the glove is too pointy. Right. And then you can start adding your other elements. But in here we got like basically all this intersection. Very, very dark. Very, very dark intersection right there. Let's emphasize this triangle a little bit more. And so the different values of the different parts of the image help bring out the other parts of the image, right? So giving it a very dark collar will help pop out the face. Giving it a very dark garment here underneath the cape will help the cape pop out a little bit more. And the inside of the cape being dark will help silhouette the rest of the body, right? Let's make those heels. So sexy. See, so Dark and light. Dark and light. Now, of course, we can use the middle. Enjoy Edamax. We can use the middle, but I would use the middle for like here. You know, just sort of establishing some areas that I don't need necessarily to pop out, but I just want to differentiate. Maybe even here. Something like that, right? And then finally, detail. And so when we start adding detail, the principle is very, very simple. Areas of high texture and detail are contrasted with areas that don't have high contrast and high texture and detail. So for example, if we decide that we're going to add a pattern that looks like a flower, but you know, whatever, to the suit, to the cape, then it contrasts with parts of the design that don't, right? So inside we leave it alone. We don't texture that part. This also can go a lot with direction, right? So maybe here we add cloth that maybe has vertical lines to emphasize kind of that sort of length right there. But then you have to do it carefully, because let's say we add to these pants, it starts to get too much, right? I think it's too much, or not. Maybe it contrasts well with everything else that we have there. If we clarify this part, maybe those pants can have their lines. Now, also, direction is going to get involved in detail. So, for example, if you look here, I have vertical lines. And then when I get up here, I have horizontal elements, right? So look at this, vertical, horizontal, vertical. And so maybe here I contrast with something horizontal. Vertical, horizontal. Now that's not in the design principles. That's basically Planetary Tiger. Hello. What that's going to do is its direction, right? So if we have an established direction, we can interrupt it or take it. So for example, here we have this shoulder pad kind of thingy, and it takes me here, right? And that leads me down. I might even, hey, what if I add like another circle right there, like a medallion or something like that, right? And so we're starting to add a little bit of detail here and there. We're starting to flesh it out a little bit, or a lot, you know, whatever. But you start to have, okay, horizontal, vertical, diagonal, and you start to interrupt, right? Okay, this gets interrupted by this right here, and then it takes me back to a vertical that gets interrupted here by a horizontal. Now, I'm gonna erase this circle on the forehead. That was kind of cheap. And we're going to go with, well, we've been going with triangles the entire time. Now, these triangles are going in this direction. I'm even gonna make this one pointier. Now, these triangles are all going in kind of that direction. So what if I contrast that and add like a little bit of a Mao hairdo? There, maybe even cover one eye. It's like an emo dark elf. Now, if you look at what I did there, it's still a triangle, right? Like, it's still a triangle. It's still there. And it goes with the diagonals that have been coming along, right? So we establish ourselves a nice little kind of... But maybe what we want to do is we want this hand to be the hand of power, right? Like maybe this hand is the hand of power. Yeah, it's big, powerful hand that he uses for magic and masturbation. So if we want to direct attention there, then in that case, we would want to change the direction of the emo hair. Right? So now the hair is pointing in that direction. And that's something that we didn't have before, which was direction. Right? It's another design fundamental. Direction. So now the hair is pointing towards the object that I want people to pay their attention to, right? And we establish the diagonals that take me there, right? Like we want stuff to start taking me in that direction. Now, not everything is going to take me in that direction, but okay, and those are some of the design fundamentals. Now, welcome to the Art Challenge. In the Art Challenge today, we're going to design a character, vehicle, whatever you want that applies these design fundamentals of shape, size, repetition, value, detail, and direction, which I just got added later on. I'm going to design a character. Now remember, for the Art Challenge, everybody's welcome to join. All skill levels are welcome. Any technique, any way you do it, as long as it is not minimal effort. This is not a contest. There is not a prize. But if anybody turns in something like a stick figure or something like that, I will simply ignore it. And that's it. Other than that, just have fun. We have 2 hours and 15 minutes. Let's get to it. Okay. Here we go. So who will be joining me today? Who will be joining me? What the? I sound like a lolcat. Okay, so I got me a Mao. Now I wonder if I should just go with the design that I was I think Discord would probably see the file as too big. But what I do when that happens, Sabrina, is I send the video to somebody, whoever, normally Pew, but I send the video to somebody through WhatsApp. And WhatsApp has very aggressive but very efficient video compression. So you send it to anybody through WhatsApp, WhatsApp compresses the video, and then you download that video, and normally it ends up in a size that Discord will be okay with. So that's what I do when I need that. Okay. Here we go. Felipe Jaramillo, hello. Okay, go. It smells like orange. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see. What are we gonna go today? Give me a sec. I'm gonna... Let's see. Oh, I know how I'm gonna go with this. Let's see. So what I'm doing here is in my other screen, I'm looking for a reference. Let's see. So I can quickly get a pose. Let's see. You okay there, Pia? Okay. Here we go. So, as we get started, how is everybody? How's your Friday going? How's your week ending? What are your plans for the weekend? What you got going on? Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think she's coughing on her, she's choking on her drink. What have we said about dying, Pew? Not allowed. So, tell me about your weeks. Tell me about your weekend. Kinda cool? Whoa, that's the best kinda cool. Wait, I didn't mean it. It came out kinda cool is the best kinda cool. That was, that came out weird. That was not my intention. So I'm going with the design I made for the explanation. going to the cinema tomorrow for the new Guardians film, and then Guardians Center the day after. We went to Guardians yesterday. We loved it. I loved it. I don't know if Pew loved it.
Yeah.
Okay. Pew loved it. I loved it. We loved it. So yeah, love what's had. But okay. I'm gonna say something without. I'm gonna try not to spoil it. But I feel like with this movie, okay. So I don't know if you guys remember. I know some of you do, but do you guys remember Red? You know, Red Rock. Of course you do. Well, here's the thing. If Red Rock were here, I would have to give her a trigger warning. Like, this isn't really a spoiler, but if animal, it makes the movie sound very bad. So I'm gonna try to explain this without spoiling the movie. But if animal cruelty is especially triggering to you, I'd say skip this movie. Because I don't think it's a spoiler if I say that a big chunk of the movie focuses on Rocket's origin. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So a big chunk of the movie focuses on Rocket's origin. And the thing about Rocket's origin is that holy crap, it like oh my god. It's very well done. It pulls at all the heartstrings and all that kind of stuff, but it is rough to see like those animals, what they go through. I do believe the movie does it very well. I do believe that I do believe that it's a very good part of the movie, but it is rough. It is rough. It is rough, and so if watching some very, very cute animals have a very rough time is like a big no for you, then I would say, yeah, skip this movie. I don't know. Do you agree, Pew? Or? I wonder what Pew said. Or she's saying. I don't know. Yeah, that was basically the way it went. Like, watching that movie was like, oh my god, I need to go home to my kitties. So yeah, that would be like my only kind of like, okay, be careful with that if that's something that affects you a lot, because like for example, me and Pew, we hate it whenever we see a dog in like a movie that where things die. Because they always kill I mean, like horror movies and stuff like that. The dog always dies. It's such a bummer. Like they're always killing the dog. Um, so there's a lot of animals in this movie, and they are absolutely not having a good time. Like this is not a good time for animals. This movie. But that being said, great movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's a little sad on the other hand, because it is absolutely like they set up some sequel stuff, and I don't know if this is gonna have a sequel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. Marvel movies have not been doing very well. So there's a lot of stuff that's kind of setting up sequels and stuff like that, and I'm just thinking, why don't we just look, Guardians. You got one good movie, one not so good movie, a Christmas special, and oh, by the way, if before watching Guardians of the Galaxy, you can watch the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, do that. We didn't, and we kind of regret it, because it seems that there's a lot of stuff that was established in the holidays. I mean this, like, I'm not joking. Like, it seems that some things of the team were established in the Christmas special and get mentioned and referred to in this movie. And Pew and I did more than once go, when did that happen? And then looking it up, oh, it was the holiday special. So I never thought I would have to say this in my life, but watch the holiday special. That was weird, because the reason I haven't watched the holiday special is because holiday specials are traditional in that they are traditionally bad, or at least maybe Star Wars gave us that. But yeah, if you can, watch the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Anyway, did I see Avatar: The Way of Water? Yes, I did see it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, so at the end, like when they start doing this whole thing where they make it kind of very obvious that they want to make sequels of this, it's like, okay, look, Guardians. You had one very good movie, one definitely not so good movie, a holiday special that I haven't seen, and a third very good movie. I actually think it's the best of the trilogy. To be honest, I don't know if I like it more than one, but it's up there. But here's the thing. I haven't seen a good Avatar movie in sorry, not Avatar. I was reading the chat room. It's been a while since I've seen such a good Marvel movie. Um, like Marvel has not really had such a good success rate with me for a while. And that kind of makes me very doubtful of any movie that is kind of uh, um trying to set up a sequel. Yes, James Gunn did. James Gunn directed all three movies, and I think that has something to do with the consistency of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Even though, like I said, I don't think 2 is as good. But I do think that James Gunn directing all of them has a lot to do with how consistent they are. Um, but the thing is, it's like, you know what? I'm doubtful there's gonna be another. I really am. I do think that the superhero movie genre is not long for this world. Sure, we'll have superhero movies for a while, but I think that we are seeing the death of the genre. So I wouldn't be so confident in putting out sequel bait. Well, the thing is, Mo, you have to keep in mind the pipeline of a movie. Um, a film producer actually explained to me once that when you talk about movies, you project trends not immediately, but years into the future, right? Because of how long it takes to make a movie. So, for example, if you say, okay, we're not going to have any more superhero comic movies starting now, you're still going to get superhero comic movies for a few years. Because there's superhero comic book movies being made right now, and they have to get finished. And there's superhero comic book movies being produced, and all those kind of things, and being edited and all that. So if you just stop doing it right now, you still have a few more years to get rid of all the ones that are in production, right? Unless they get canceled, but we can all agree that that is an exceptional case. That's not a common occurrence. That's not something that we're gonna see happen a lot, right? What is gonna happen is that we might start seeing a lot of movies that we would have thought would come out in theaters coming out on streaming. So yeah, like we might be seeing the death of the superhero genre, of the comic book movie genre, but it's gonna take a few years for everything to catch up. Now, do keep in mind that this is just a prediction, right? Like, for all I know, we might be just having superhero movies until the end of time. In which case, we have to do a sacrifice. As always, we sacrifice Mao to appease the movie gods, or we make our own movies with blackjack and hookers. I say we make uh Mao 2, Return of the Mao. And when people say like, wait, where's Mao 1? We go, you missed Mao 1? Oh my god, you can't miss Mao 2. Because, okay, have you guys noticed, uh, that there are some movies that you just can't watch because they are on no streaming service? So, if you have a movie that maybe wasn't big enough to be downloadable through torrent and no streaming service took it, you can pretty much just bullshit your way into people thinking you made a movie. No problem. Like, just, yeah, oh yeah, Mao 1 was spectacular. It won a bunch of awards in Cannes or Cons or whatever, however you pronounce that, Cannes, whatever. Which is, again, it's like a New York Times bestseller. Like I can publish a book this afternoon and say it's a New York Times bestseller. Who the fuck is gonna say that it isn't? Like, every single book is a New York Times bestseller. If I publish a book and I say it's a New York Times bestseller, nobody's gonna say like, oh no, it wasn't. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah, it was a New York Times bestseller. For one day, for one afternoon, for a minute. It was a New York Times bestseller. So we can just say, yeah, look, we made Mao 1, The Mao Begins. But it's not on any streaming service, so, you missed it. But, it won a bunch of awards. It was in film festivals. In what country? Oh, countries you haven't visited, obviously. But critics loved it. It was very, very controversial. It was very, very controversial. So it never made it onto Rotten Tomatoes because of racists. Yeah, racists. They review bombed the movie. Racist review bombed the movie, so it had to be removed from Rotten Tomatoes and all streaming services. But Mao 2, Return of the Mao, is coming out, and you don't want to miss it. It is yes, it's French. It's French. Oui, le poupou. Yes, is it raining?
Yep.
I want to live in a city that isn't bipolar. A city that makes up its damn mind about what it wants to be. The daily challenge has been fun so far. Remind me to think fast to get as much done as possible. How are you feeling so far? Oh yeah, this week has been interesting. let's call it let's go with interesting. Yes, this week has been interesting for me in terms of luck. and such. And yeah, at the theater where we were watching Guardians of the Galaxy, uh, like the lights in. Okay, at something happened yesterday. Okay, no wait, that sounds pretty ominous. Something happened at the theater yesterday. So when we got to the theater yesterday, um, the theater was empty. But not just empty, like when you get to the theater and everything is just kind of, they're playing trailers and stuff like that, and there's nobody else there. No, like the theater was, none of the lights were on and the screen was off when we entered the theater. I had never had that experience before in my life of a theater just we still have 1 hour and 45 minutes, Kissing Wolves. The theater was pitch dark. Like we have to take out our cell phones and find our way to the chair. No emergency lights. The screen wasn't on. None of that. Just pitch dark. And I'd never experienced that before. It was weird. It was pretty weird. To have that experience. And it in the end it was only one other couple and us. Like just one other couple and us. And like a little bit into the movie, the lights go on. Like just like that, a little bit into the movie, the lights go on. And we're just sitting there like, what? And then they would flicker and go out for a second, and then they would flicker and go back on for a second, and we watched the entire movie that way. Okay, Ermax. Sorry to see you go. See you next Tuesday then. And have a good airport delivery experience. I guess. Okay, let's do this without the arm, and then we'll play around with the arm. Because I think these legs are a little bit exaggerated in how they're swinging. Oops. Oh, I'm glad to read that, no? I do hope everybody's having fun. I'm gonna make this a little bit shorter there. How did we have this? Oh, okay. It's dark here. Now we're just gonna bring out the hips here. And how do we establish this? Okay, there. And then we're gonna go here. Oh, well, I think I like the exaggerated movement I had before. I wonder if I can go back to it. Or if I deleted it forever. I might have. Yeah. Oh, well. I'm gonna just erase this, and we're going to emphasize the curve of this leg. Oh, okay. Wait, what if we establish a little bit of well, I have the original sketch. Okay, so this would be, I'm gonna have to go into the anatomy of this. Let's see. So here we would have, oh wow, it's hot. It's raining and there's thunder, but it's so hot. What the hell? Okay. And then we're gonna go back here. But okay, and there we go. Then we're gonna increase you again. And we're gonna grab those. Yes. Okay. And we're gonna bring these pants down here with this, and then just follow the flow. Put some heels on because schmuckshay. And then we go with you. Oh wait, what did I just do? Okay. Oh, I see the problem. There we go. Holy crap. That leg, you know what? Why the hell do I bring up a reference if I'm not going to use it? I have no idea where my image has ended up. I wanted to bend the concept rules by making a stereotypically barbaric character as a stereotypical softer mage character. High fantasy. He's kind of taken on a whole personality without my intention. Oh no, it's like AI, but your drawing has gained sentience. And then comes the murder. Uh... Okay, now we're getting somewhere. There we go. He's gonna tighten up a little bit here on the thighs, and what we'll do is we'll just go with the muscle structure. Ah, that works now. Look at them shapely legs. Okay, and then the arm. What have I done? Where did the rest of the arm go? Did I accidentally erase the rest of the arm? I think I did. No, wait. What? Okay, wait. I think the arm is just off where it's supposed to be. That's where the arm is supposed to be. Okay, and now the question is, do I want it? Do I want to keep it there, or do I want to move it? I think that's where I want it. That's where I want it. Okay. And so the arm is doing a typical sexy pose, which is pointing to the crotch. This is very commonly found in sensual poses. You point to your crotch as if to say, yes, that is my vagina. It's I suppose it kind of acts as a sort of map, a vaginal map. Now, from these gloves, I am missing the pointiness. I'm gonna add that pointiness, because I wanted to keep that pointiness. It doesn't have to be super pointy. Reminds me of the joke Seth Rogen says about seeing Zac Efron shirtless. His body and abs are like an arrow that point to the dick. Yeah. Doesn't that even have like a name? Something like the Road, or I know they call it the V, but I think it has a name too. Like people call it like the Road or something like that. I haven't seen Zac Efron in any movies for a while. I hope he's doing well. I wish you well, Zach. I know you're watching, and I do appreciate it. Thanks, Zach. Efron. The line of hair is the treasure trail? Oh my god. Thanks. I hate it. Oh. That's... Why don't we just call it the Rocky Road to Dublin or something like that? La-ti-da-ti-da. Wow, it's raining really hard. Do we have any windows open? Temperature in this city just did not make up its mind. Where'd the quote go? Whatever. Where's my design? Okay. Okay. How's everybody doing with their designs? I have a little bit of a rough moment there with the legs. But I think we're back on track. So you're designing a fantagonist? I can't see myself out because it's my stream, so if I see myself out, it closes. But I'll see myself out. What's up? Oh. So we're gonna go with a little bit of a point here and here. Well, man with no screen name, we miss him. He's not here. So, you know, don't get me wrong. I still hate puns. I'm not gonna do puns, but it was tempting. It was tempting. It was fang right next to the word antagonist. Fantagonist. It just happened. So, is anybody playing Diablo 4? Apparently, it's like free to play this weekend. Is anybody gonna be checking out Diablo 4? I need a name for my character. It's a female vampire with 90s skater grunge vibes. She uses her skateboard to fight with. Her name is... yeah, her name is Lavigne. Avril Lavigne. She sounds like Avril Lavigne. So it can be... What's Avril Lavigne's real name? I bet it's that. I bet she's one of those people that just used her name. That properly written? Okay, Avril Lavigne. No! She has another name. Her name is Avril Ramona Lavigne. So, this character can either be named Avril Or she can be named Ramona. Ramona's an awesome name. Okay, I'm cool with the rain, but can it freshen up? Can... By the way, to everybody watching, it's raining really hard. So, as always, you know, the same warnings whenever it rains hard. You know, if it's gonna rain hard, then the stream may fall at any moment. Oh, it's raining pretty hard here. What? Okay. Oh, when did I do that? It is moist. Yeah. Let us go. Okay. We're gonna go with... Give me a sec. I'm looking for... Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I might die of weird heat, but I'm okay. Thank you, Mom. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Let's do that face. But first, we have to make sure that the file is big enough. How big are we working right now? Not very big. Let's increase the size. We're gonna go... Oh, wait, what? No, not 3000 resolution. That's a bit much. A bit much. Yeah. We're gonna go up a little bit with these. Gonna make her looking down on us because she a badass. Well, I guess if I know Mao's designing a vampire because Fang is. Wait, is Fang's enemy also a vampire? Or is it like a vampire hunter? Tell us about Ramon. Fang is half vampire. Fang's enemy is pure blood vampire. An elitist kind of thing going on there. I see. So yes. She's like the Draco Malfoy of the story, but actually intimidating and very dangerous. Well, we recently watched all of Harry Potter, and I guess it's just we should start like a Harry Potter countdown clock. Like as soon as we finish the Deathly Hallows, we should have like a big like digital clock on the wall, like Harry Potter countdown. This many days without watching Harry Potter. It wouldn't go far, I guarantee it. But the thing about Harry Potter is that every time we watch it, every single time we watch that movie, it's not like the first time, but there's always something. There's always something that makes us go, oh wow, I never noticed that before. Always. And one of the things that I was very, very, very much kind of like watching last time, Night Cow is 12 hours. You win. But one of the things that I noticed last time we were watching is Kissing Wolves. Welcome back. How's time looking? We have 1 hour and 10 minutes. So one of the things that I was noticing the last time we were watching Harry Potter a few weeks ago is Draco does start out very, very intimidating as a boy when he's a little shit. But as the series advances, you do start to feel sorry for him. Like, especially like from an adult point of view, seeing how his father probably treats him. Because that's the thing, like the movie doesn't really take much time to establish how the Malfoy lives, but it does definitely make it kind of clear that Lucius is very much an abusive father. So you kind of start to feel bad for Draco. Like, oh man, that kid really has it rough, you know? Okay, wait, we have to fix this face though. This face is looking weird as fuck. Like, hella weird. There's a deleted scene where he could have had an interesting ending. What scene is that? Tell us about it. Because one thing that we did do last time we saw Harry Potter that we have not done before is we saw the extended editions of 1 and 2. And holy crap, are they awesome viewing experiences, 1 and 2, as extended editions. It's kind of a bummer that they never made extended editions of the others. But watching the extended editions of 1 and 2 is just crazy fun. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna make her, and I'm go. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking for. There we go. Give her that high nose, and then we're gonna go with I'm gonna go with a smaller mouth, make her look bitchier. There we go. That nose is hella crooked. The scene where he hugs Voldemort, where instead he gives Harry or someone the wand he's holding or something. Can't remember correctly, but he betrays Voldemort and his family in that ending. Oh. Well, the whole thing with the Elder Wand is kind of. I think I need to reread the books because the whole thing with the Elder Wand was a little kind of unclear to me. Not that I don't understand the Elder Wand, just that it just kind of didn't feel very, it didn't flow very well to me, the whole thing with the Elder Wand. And we just finished Lord of the Rings again. So I think the next one is Pirates of the Caribbean. Yep. Oh yeah, we still have to finish. We have like, okay, Return of the King is about to get to the part where you think it's gonna end. Right? I don't think it's a spoiler if I tell you guys that. Hey, guess what? Frodo throws a ring into Mount Doom. I don't suppose that's a spoiler, right? Or somebody sitting there like, oh man, that's how it ends? Really? But for most people, I don't suppose that's a spoiler. And one of the things that I kind of love, but not a good kind of love, more like, you know, you love your you know, when you love something stupid. I love from those movies how they get to that point where every like other minute you think it's gonna end there, and it doesn't. It's so much fun. So it's like, oh, okay, movie's over. Movie up. Nope. 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 Not over. Not over. Okay. Okay. Let's okay. Ah, now it's nope, not over. Okay. Okay, we're having the ceremony. Cool. Oh, okay, it's a nope, not over. And the movie has like I love it. I love it. It's so much it's very endearing. You can almost feel that Peter Jackson just didn't want it to end. Like, no, my movie. I want it never to end. Mr. Frodo. Okay, now I gotta look. Yes, she looks like a vampire that's gonna tell you you don't belong here. No. That part I'm very clear on, Night Cow. What I think is not very clear about the Elder Wand and everything that happens with it is like, but in general, it's the Deathly Hollows, and it's that I always kind of got this sensation that the Deathly Hollows was kind of crammed in at the end there, which to me is very strange because if there's something that I think people can't objectively argue about J.K. Rowling, and they will argue a lot, but if there's something I think people cannot argue about J.K. Rowling is that J.K. Rowling knows her shit, right? Like she writes good. that sentence construction was spectacular, but she is good at what she does, and one of the things that I think that J.K. Rowling is particularly good at is building a world throughout the books where as you go through the books, stuff that she built in the earlier books helps build the books later on. And so you get like Nagini being a Horcrux. You get like the Tom Riddle's journal being a Horcrux, and Harry being a Horcrux. I thought was absolutely brilliant. I thought that was like, oh wow, it makes so much sense that Harry became a Horcrux, and the fact that Voldemort didn't even realize that Harry had become a Horcrux because he had so many Horcruxes that it's like, yeah, he doesn't even realize when a piece of his soul ends up there. So I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was awesome, and I love the fact that Harry was a Horcrux. I think it makes so much sense. All that stuff. All that being said, those are Horcruxes that I think were awesome. I thought, Harry, the Journal, and Nagini were awesome Horcruxes. Then there's the Horcruxes that just kind of are like, what? Like, suddenly, what was it? Rowena Ravenclaw? Like, suddenly Rowena Ravenclaw necklace. Tiara, yeah, the tiara. Suddenly Rowena Ravenclaw's tiara. And it's like, what? That came from nowhere. That's like, okay, we had never, or at least not that I recall, we had never mentioned or seen or anything Rowena Ravenclaw's tiara, and suddenly it's a thing. And to me, the Elder Wand feels a little bit like that. Like you know, we're going with a bunch of stuff that was like always there, and we're going, oh wow, it's so cool. It was always there, and now it's different. It's important, and I like that. I like that a lot. And the Elder Wand feels like a thing that just kind of gets crammed in there at the last minute. Like, oh, and it feels like a little 6-year-old telling the story, right? Like, oh, and then there's a wand, and it's the most powerful wand in the world, and it's called the Elder Wand, and it's like so a lot of the Horcruxes feel like they make a lot of sense, right? Harry being a Horcrux, Nagini being a Horcrux, Tom Riddle's diary being a Horcrux. The other ones are there's a necklace. The one where he has to force Dumbledore to drink pee. That's the necklace. Oh, the one in the snitch. Did he have one in a snitch? What? Was there a Horcrux in the snitch? No. Oh, one of the relics was in the snitch. Yes, yes. But anyway, the Deathly Hollows and oh yeah. Sorry, it sounds like I'm confusing the Deathly Hollows with the Horcruxes, which I'm not. It's just that the elements in that movie that they suddenly start bringing in, like the Horcruxes and the Deathly Hollows, some of them feel like they fit into the movie perfectly, and some of them just feel really kind of jammed in there. And but admittedly, it's been a very long time since I read the books, because I read the books when they came out. Like I would read the books on launch. So I'm wondering, yeah, you know what? Maybe I just need to reread, refresh my memory, and kind of. The wand is the same. I'm not from the magic world, and Ron is bad at teaching them anything of substance about childhood things. Hermione would have just taken it. The tall tale. Yeah. I think. And I think a lot of it is like, okay, maybe just the movie doesn't establish it very well. Maybe it's better established in the books, because that happens a lot. For example, in the Lord of the Rings, like that I spent a lot of time in the Lord of the Rings, pausing it and explaining to Pew where this or that came from, or why this or that was important, right? Like, oh, okay, look at this. This is important because of this. They don't explain it in the movie, but the reason Aragorn can command all these ghosts is which, by the way, The Lord of the Rings, still one of my favorite movies. Still love watching it, but a lot of it has not aged well. And if there's one part that has not aged well, is those ghosts. Oh my god. The Oathbreakers. Oh, that's rough. I see what I'm missing. How am I doing on time? Man, I'm spending time on this. Thank you, Sabrina. In the books, there even a subtle hint when the other schools come for the Wizard Cup tournament. See, that just makes me think. Yeah, we need to reread those books. Pew's gonna start with Sorcerer's Stone as soon as she finishes The Witcher, and I might follow her as soon as she's done with Sorcerer's Stone. Because it has been a while. I don't like the way this is draping over. Let's fix that. We also watched Fantastic Beasts, and Fantastic Beast is just so obviously not as good as the original movies, but I think time has been, and not too much time, but I do think time has been kind to those movies. Like just watch, just sitting down to watch them on an afternoon or something. They're a good watch. I'm okay watching Fantastic Beasts. It's just, yeah, you sit down, you watch them. It's a good time. If you're there for the beasts, you're gonna be disappointed. But other than that, so I've done black and white first to focus on the values first time, but I'm not sure how to get it into color now. Do I just paint over it or play with saturation? I would just, considering the time we have, which is 50 minutes, I would just paint over it on an overlay layer or on a multiply layer. Oh my god, my hands are so sweaty. The only book you're missing is the Half-Blood Prince? The Half-Blood Prince is good. It's really good. Well, the only thing I don't like about the but I don't like it in a way that I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to react that way. Oh, I was gonna do the whole hair design and I kind of forgot. I wonder if I can still do that. Just mix that in there. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I think we can pull that off. Oh yeah, my old copy of Sorcerer's Stone was lost somewhere. I'm pretty sure I lent it to somebody and just never got it back. But we kind of gave up on finding it, so Pew just bought a new copy of it. Because what we want to do is we want to buy like like a nice collector's box set, but we have some very nice editions of the book, and those collector's box sets are pretty expensive. So we figure, okay, we got other things that we want to spend on first, on, not spend so much money on some books that technically we already have. So we just decided, okay, you know what? Let's buy the first book and we have the collector box set where the spines make an image of Hogwarts. It was a pretty... Yeah, we want that one too. But that's the thing. Like, since we have all the others, just not in a box set, we decided, okay, you know what? One of these days we want to go to what's the name of the theme park here? The Wizarding World? Yeah, we want to go to the Wizarding World and stuff like that. And we figure, okay, when we go there, we might get a box set there. Although I'm guessing it must be insanely expensive to get it there. But the point is, like, yeah, we'll get this. Like, for example, I have like 4 or 5 different editions of Lord of the Rings. And one of them, my most beautiful one, is not meant for reading. Which actually was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I should have read it. Because it's gone so long without being open that the other day I went to open it and the spines had crystallized. So it broke. So they're beautiful books, but the spine inside, the glue, is crystallized and broken. Beautiful books, though. Yeah, I didn't know that happened, by the way. I learned that day. That if you don't open your books often, or at least enough, I don't know, the glue in the spine crystallizes, and then when you finally open again, it breaks. Yeah, that's a thing. I don't know which one of you is going to run over to your libraries and start opening and closing all your books. But yeah, there you go. If you wanted something to think about tonight. That is a thing that happens to books. I have a fake leather-bound version of The Hobbit, and the fake leather is so old now, it started cracking and it looks horrible because the underlayer is white. I have, wait, is it the same one I have? Is it, like, small, and it's, like, printed on Bible paper? Which, by the way, in case anybody's wondering, yes, there is a type of paper that's called Bible paper. It's like that extremely thin and wispy paper that they use for Bibles. Hence, the name. I have an edition of The Hobbit. Yes! Tiny with gold edges! And yes, the fake leather started cracking and it peeling, and you can start seeing the under part of it. And it's such a shame because that book is just it's so pretty. And it is obviously not meant for reading because it's not tiny like like a miniature. But it is small enough to fit in your pocket and definitely would not be a comfortable read. Yeah, my two favorite editions of Lord of the Rings are the one I have, which is a white version of them with red maps. Beautiful, beautiful. That's the one that the spine is breaking. And I also have the illustrated Alan Lee version, but unfortunately it's in Spanish. And I don't appreciate that. I do not. Yeah. Thank you. See how it's peeling here? Thank you, Pew. Yeah, see? It's a beautiful, beautiful edition of the book. Like, but you can see it's peeling all over, right? Right. Yeah. And has beautiful maps and everything. But just thank you, Pew. Oh wow. The my tablet is filled with little pieces of leather now. Oh, I'm gonna have to clean that up. It's that bad. Wow, it's so hot. How hot is it? For real. I want to see one of those like the temperature is this, but it feels like that. That's on the cell phone. Cell phone is the one that tells you temperature is this, but what, you're not that hot? No? Damn you. We're done. 27 feels like 28. Yeah, no kidding. "21 feels like 17? Wow, we never get that situation where it feels colder than it is. Huh. With us it's always this temperature feels hotter. I realize that this is not that hot compared to a lot of, the summers you guys have and stuff like that. But I don't know. Fuck you. That's all I gotta say about that. Like, just look, it's hot and that's it. I don't care if it's not the hottest place in the world. How am I doing on time? Oh, running short. Cutting it close. But how can I not? Aha! I knew this part looked weird. Aw, thank you, Pew. I think those eyes are a little bit out of... Ryutsu! Hello, Nika! How are you? How are you? It's been a few days. How have you been? I'm thinking... You know what? I'm thinking, no, I'm not gonna go with that, I think I'm gonna... Not like I have an abundance of time, but... I'm thinking I'm gonna go with the original hairdo. I prefer it. Thought it was much more stylish and inspired. Currently recovering from surgery. Oh, what well, I'm glad to read that you're recovering. Can you tell us what it was? I'm... How am I? We're doing an art challenge today that is applying design fundamentals to our images. So we are applying the fundamentals of shapes, size, Aw, thank you. Sabrina, that's very flattering. Thank you very much. You're gonna make me blush. Uh, shape, design, repetition. Oh my god, I forgot my own list. Shape. No, not shape, design, repetition. Holy crap. Shape, size, repetition, value, and detail. Holy crap. It was an abdominal surgery. Have to get an annoying growth removed, but non-dangerous. Well, I'm glad you are on the mend. Simon, yes, holy crap, isn't it hot? It's here where I live, Simon. It's actually raining right now. I don't know if it's raining where you are, but it's raining and still insanely hot. So much that Pew sacrificed herself and turned the fan on me. She just did that. Like she just said, "Here, save yourself." And I was like, "Yeah, see ya, bitch. Gimme." Like, oh, what a noble, noble, whatever. Give me that fan. Oh, what a beachy design. Oh, thank you, Nico. That's very flattering. Thank you. You're playing some Switch games. What are you playing? Are you getting into the new Zelda game? I oddly enough, it looks like something I would want to get into. I'm gonna adjust this just a little bit down and wait, what? Okay, wait. Come on, move. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. Wait, what? So am I on the right layer or not? There we go. Okay. Wow. Time is tight. Only have like 25 minutes to finish the line work on this. Holy crap. Okay. I haven't played any of the Zelda games yet. Mostly playing more cozy games like Animal Crossing or Cozy Grove. Mika, you're just telling us that you're playing cozy, relaxed games like Animal Crossing and Cozy Grove or Murder Mysteries. Like you don't see you don't see anything in there that doesn't fit the narrative. No. Murder mysteries are cozy. Okay. Oh, right, right. You love like true crime and stuff like that, don't you? I remember. Isn't there a new murder mystery game coming soon that's a mix between Stardew Valley and Murders? I read about it. I saw it. Unfortunately, Stardew Valley is not my jam. I would like for it to be, but it's not. But it does look like the perfect combination for Sabrina. Um, I once proposed it to Pew, like, hey, maybe you'd be interested in this game. And as soon as she saw that she wasn't gonna be like murdering stuff, she was not interested. Stardew Valley, that, well, I mean, there's also that you don't like pixel art games, but that you basically have a farm and you know you grow stuff and yeah. Pew needs to murder stuff. She needs to get it out of her system, I think. Oh, you know what, Sabrina? In all honesty, I didn't really look at how it looked. I read more like what it was. Didn't pay that much attention to how it looked, to be honest. I know you'd expect me to, but I didn't. I feel like I have failed you. And okay. Question for the chat room. A game that you really wanted to get into and a game that you really wanted to get into and that being objective, deep down inside that it is actually a good game, but you could never get over how it looks, therefore no, the game was a pass. For me, that game was Salt and Sanctuary. I could never get over how that game looks. The art in that game looks so amateur. I just can't. Yeah, purely visually. A game that and also that the game is good. You know the game is good, but you just can't get over the way the game looks, and you have to pass. I tried Salt and Sanctuary, and I know it's a good game. It's a very good game. But I can't get over just how amateur the art is, and I can't. And so Salt and Sanctuary is a very sad pass for me. any JRPG, I just can't vibe with Japan style games. Monster Hunter was a very rare exception, and it took quite a bit of time before I gave in. I find it sad. Not you. Don't worry. Let me finish. I find you sad, Sabrina. No. I find it sad that most of the Japanese games that I find it easy to like jam with are the games where they are clearly going in a Western direction. So Dark Souls. You know, Dark Souls is definitely one of those cases for me. Like, Dark Souls is definitely a Japanese game, but it's definitely a Japanese game cosplaying as a Western game. And I mean, you guys know me. I love Dark Souls and I love Bloodborne and stuff like that. And they do have a lot of Japanese touches to them, but they're definitely not trying to look like the stereotypical Japanese game. Same thing goes for Elden Ring or Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World is very Japanese. Very Japanese. But at times it feels like they're trying to go with a little bit of a visual Western sensibilities. And Monster Hunter World really worked for me. I like Monster Hunter World a lot. Although I think Monster Hunter World is less westernized than, say, for instance, Dark Souls. Right? Dark Souls is way more westernized. One of the things, okay, this is very, very designer of me, but hey, we're working on design today, so why not? One of the things that Japanese have not been able to pull off is Western font design. And one of the things I hate, like a little pet peeve of mine, is when people go like, oh, Persona 5 has such excellent font. No, it does not. Look, I am a graphic designer. I teach graphic design. Trust me. Persona 5 does not have good font design. It has fun font design, which some people would argue is good enough. It is not. Persona 5 is cluttered and poorly designed from a graphic design standpoint. It is fun, it is different, and it is unique, but it is not good font design. I am sorry, I do not mean to stereotype anybody, but no, I do not think Japan has managed quite yet to get Western font design properly. Now, to be fair, we don't get it right either when we try to go with, kanji or anything like that. So, all's fair. I'm not saying that we do it perfect and they do it wrong. Like, no. When we try to go with kanji, we also screw it up. I believe it's because they don't have the sensibility to certain aspects of Western font design that we are naturally sensitive to. Stuff like kerning, tracking, the spacing and all that kind of stuff. It's just, whenever I go for a Japanese game that is trying to go with font design, they always get those aspects wrong. And they overuse fonts. That's the problem, for example, with Persona 5. Aside from the fact that we found the game to be terribly boring. I know. A lot of people are very into Persona 5. I'm not into a game that won't let me play. Right? I don't appreciate a game that seems to resent me wanting to play. And come to me with any of that. Oh, you have to wait 15 hours or something like that for the game to finally let you to play. No, I want to play now, right? I don't have time to wait 15 hours for the game to decide that it's time for me to take a crack at it. But anyway, if there is one graphic design sin that Persona 5 makes, is that too many fonts. It's the overuse of fonts that they do very, very, very clearly. Even then, I mean, I didn't play Persona 5. Well, no, I did. I tried it. And we just couldn't stand it. Because it wouldn't let us play. It's like as soon as we would get into it, it would be like, no, 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 no. I have something else to tell you. It's like, oh my god, Persona, just let me play the damn game, please. No, 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 no. Check this out. Oh my god, Persona, you're not as interesting as you think you are. But yeah, video game that I could not get into because of how it looked, even though I thought it was a really good game. Salt and Sanctuary. Persona 5 does have good music. Yeah, I'll give it that. I'll give it that. It does have good music. But yeah, that's the thing. What I think Persona 5 lacks is self-control. The game indulges too much in itself. It's like the game was, I don't know. It's like the game was bullied in high school, and it's cool now. It like, you know, it succeeded in life and got fit and became popular and rich and stuff, but it still has all the traumas from when it got bullied in high school. So now the game is like way too eager to show me that it's cool. So I'm just there trying to play it, and the game is like, no, 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 wait. I gotta show you this. Hey, Persona, what do you got? And so it shows you yet another eternal cutscene, and then you're like, okay, can I play now? I mean, I was iffy on the whole turn-based battle thing to begin with, but can I play now? Yeah, sure, you can play. But wait, what about this? Celeste was one I didn't play because I thought it was ugly. I'm into pixel art games. I love pixel art games. I don't do pixel art, but I love pixel art. And even I have to admit that I'm glad that we seem to be backing off a little bit on pixel art games, because it was getting too much. Like at a certain point, it was like, okay, you know, not every game needs to be pixel art. Not every game needs to be pixel art. I get the whole idea of pixel art being maybe financially more viable and stuff like that, but I would prefer it if the pixel art games that I play are games that are really, really strong in the visual design. So, for example, a game like Owlboy. Oh, a game like Owlboy, that's just a feast for the eyes. Like, Pew doesn't like pixel art games, and when she saw Owlboy, she was like, yeah, I'd play that. Like, she would give Owlboy a chance, even though it's pixel art. But then there's games that, and here's one that might be, an unpopular opinion. And this one is going to get me some flack, I'm sure. But, hey, I love Blasphemous, but I wish it wasn't pixel art. I don't think that I don't think that game needs to be pixel art. I love that game. I love it. It is so much fun. It is so good. It is so fascinating, and it is very pretty. I wish it wasn't pixel art. Okay, it's time to adjust these eyes. I am getting. This is so frustrating. Why are these eyes so weirdly out of place? Let's go. Let's go. Ah, also, no. There we go. Moonlighter. I know about Moonlighter, but I've never played it. Oh, that is such a perfect example that I actually forgot all about, Sabrina. Undertale. Undertale is a difficult game for me because everybody's always going on about how amazing Undertale is, and I am sorry, that is one of the ugliest games I've ever seen. It is hella ugly. It is just so ugly. It's really ugly. And it is seriously difficult for me to like, I played it. I didn't play through it. I played it. I tried it. And I just could not get over how ugly it was. So eventually I didn't last very long. Eventually I just had to go, nope, I'm not going to be able to play this game. It is just too ugly. And I am sorry, it's not about graphic quality. No, visual design of that game is absolutely lacking. Okay, I'm gonna have time to determine value, and that's it. Because wow, we have 10 minutes left, everybody. 10 minutes left, but I am happy with this image. I will have time to determine value in the end. Okay, what about the opposite? Wait, it's really weird one, but you might really like Inscryption. Not normally one for deck building games, but this one is such an experience. I think I might even have it, Sabrina, but honestly, I have yet to find a deck building game that has managed to get me. I tried oh shit, what's it called? Like one of the most popular ones. I tried it and I just could not get into it. Not Inscription though. What's some other one? I forgot what the name is. But yeah, I have yet to find. No, no, no. Like where they kind of put deck building into a roguelike game, so you travel. I just don't like these games that I feel like they could be an action game, and I want them to be an action game, but instead I have to fight using cards. Why can't I fight using badassery? That would be, you know, why can't I just be a badass? You know what I would like to be? A badass. That's what I would like. Okay, okay. A badass what? Oh, okay. Thank you, Pete. That's cute. Thank you. I don't know if I can. Is it okay if I say it on stream? But it's cute. Pew says I'm a badass with a good ass. So. It's silly, but I love it. Thank you. Okay, where else was it supposed to be dark? Okay, the boots are supposed to be dark as well. And then the points of the boots are supposed to be dark as well. Five minutes to go, everybody. Then this one here is supposed to be dark. Oh, thank you, Sabrina. I've been, you know, I've been practicing my sexy ladies. Thank you. That makes me feel like I've accomplished something over these past 13 days. Thank you, thank you. Oh, you guys are gonna make me blush. it's been an interesting experience. Mao, you were asking me before how that was going. I can't remember if I answered you or just got distracted, which would not be out of character for me. Did I ever answer your question? Um, well, in terms of energy, it's still going very strong, right? Like I, but I think that one of the main elements that has helped the art challenge, and I'm glad you're doing it too, but specifically what I'm glad you're doing is I think one of the things that has been helping me the most with the art challenge and maintaining energy for the art challenge has been, sorry for the art challenge, is the journaling. And yeah, it really has helped kind of it really kind of brings another level to it, because one of the things that I do when I do the journaling, and I post it on Discord, is that I kind of go over what I did. You know, I have to sit down and think about what I did that day and what I learned that day. It forces me to. And I think that is something that maybe that is definitely an element that I'm going to talk about in the end when I make the large video of the whole thing. And it's the idea that journaling really brings the whole thing together, because it forces you to, like I was saying, it forces you to consider what you did. It forces you to consider what you've learned. And I think that a great big part of the learning experience comes from sitting down and thinking what it is that I learned, right? We kind of get this attitude that we make art and we learn, but what did we learn? And like, right, like okay, I made this piece of art. What did I learn from it? No, I learned the end. Yeah, but what? So having to sit down and reflect upon what I did and what I learned and put it down in writing. And also, and here's what I recommend for you, Mal, because you're doing it too, is if you look today, while I'm coming to those conclusions, I try to also establish where I'm going tomorrow. So that gives me that gives me a focus for tomorrow, right? So I know that tomorrow I'm gonna try something with flat colors. I know that tomorrow I'm gonna try. So it kind of establishes what I'm gonna do tomorrow, and that helps too, because the idea of these things is not that we just sit down and draw whatever, as long as it's a woman in my case. Like, no, the idea is, okay, how, you know, what are we gonna learn today? What are we gonna do? And what are we gonna try out, right? So thinking about it really, really helps. So and those conclusions, like that idea of what it is I'm gonna try tomorrow, comes from thinking about what I learned today and how, you know, okay, today I learned this and that, and so I'm going to apply it this and that way. Where is he? There. Here's an interesting dilemma. I think the pants are supposed to be dark, but how dark? Maybe a lighter dark? We'll make this one a little bit darker. There we go. And the pants can be a lighter dark. There we go. And wait a second. I think we're done. He says, I think we're done, but he continues. I think we're done. I think we're done. Wait. We're done. We're done. We're done? Are we done? Wait. Did I just say we're done? Or are we, does this mean we're done? Wait, what about now? What about now? What about now? Are we done now? We're done now? What if I say that again? Are we done now? By the way, this has been how the face challenge has been going every morning. Like, okay, I'm gonna take 1 hour today. Okay, 1 hour starting now. What about now? What about now? What about now? Just kind of slowly extending it every single time. Okay, now we're done though. The time has come. And let's make you a little bit lighter. There we go. Okay. So, in today's Art Challenge. Art Challenger. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing there, by the way. Let's see what we got. Okay. So, oh wow, there's a lot of stuff here. Okay, wow. You guys have been posting on time. Okay. So, let's start. So, today's art challenge. So days I've learned two things. So far I've learned two things. I might be suffering from same face. So tomorrow I'll try to change that. And I'm very rusty. Rusty? But you work all the time drawing. How can you be very rusty? Yeah, no. But same face is something that I'm noticing in mine too. Because when you look at the models that I get on Pinterest, they all look like different people, of course. They're even human beings. But if you pay attention, they end up having like the same features in general, and the differences that make them look like unique individuals are not differences that are going to come out in drawing much. So they all start to look very, very generic. That's why today I tried, the body was based on Gina Carano and the face was based on Ronda Rousey. But I kind of just tried to go with something different for the face and made her look like a little bit more Latina. Because I want to start trying to make different faces too. But I think that is a secondary concern, Mao, in my case, right? Like, as soon as I get confident with drawing the face and that they're going to look the way I need to, then I can start trying to give them personality. That's what I try to avoid in my Pinterest board. I try to find pretty faces, but at least with one strong feature. One of the things that I determined when I started the face challenge is, since my initial quest, not my current quest, but since my initial quest was to become comfortable drawing women that would be considered physically beautiful by just general societal standards, I was not going to be concerned in any way, shape, or form with stuff like diversity or anything like that, right? Like, I'm not going to look for different ethnicities, or like, oh, what about women, different weights, or different nose shapes, or anything like that for now, right? Like, because I wanted to kind of crack the okay, how do I make a drawing of mine look pretty? And once that is cracked, okay, let's see where we can take this with variety and diversity and all that kind of stuff. But I kind of felt that if in the beginning I was concerned with that, it would distract me from the other. Exactly. What is pretty's foundation? And it's a step-by-step thing. So first, let's just go with conventionally pretty women. And yeah, you kind of start to make them all with the same face. As we get that, we start to go, okay, what about this? What about that? And all that kind of stuff. We still have like 17 days to go on this challenge. Anyway, art challenge today. We're doing overtime. Art challenge today. The art challenge today had 5 basic points that we're going to explore as design fundamentals. And those 5 basic points are shape, size, repetition, value, and design. And now, let's look at the different designs from our community. Some are even in the chat room. Some. Okay, so this first one comes to us from Sabrina. And okay, she already said ignore value. Okay, so Sabrina says, I could only bust out a sketch today. Bust a sketch. I started on color, but the time I was able to work on this ran out. So I had to backtrack back to grayscale. This is my very buff sorcerer and his spectral squirrels. They bite. I was playing with lots and lots of circles for the sorcerer's general shape design. Because the squirrels are little shits, they are pointy and hard-edged. I like the fact that it's not just... Oh, Felipe, let me give you a link. So, it's in the Discord community. Wait, I'm gonna give you a link to the Discord. And in the Discord, you will find a section called O's Art Challenge. And in that channel, you post your image. So, I see the shape design in the squares and circles that are part of the mage. So you got these very round shapes, but a very overall kind of big square to it all. But there's another detail that I like, and it's that it also goes with the line language. For example, the squirrels are not just kind of more triangle shapes and stuff like that, but the lines on the squirrels are also more angular. So it gives language not just to the design, but also to the lines themselves. The line art in this is really quite lovely. So, okay. This is from Sabrina Brady. Okay, wait. This is fun. Okay. So at the beginning, when we were talking about squares and circles, Mal came up with the idea of the squircle. And Altered Mage made this image of a squircle. This is this is quite lovely. So it says squircle, a square squirrel. Wow, that's a tongue twister. You got a square squirrel. That's gonna be a squircle, square squirrel, staring at a cinnamon swirl. Oh wow, that's a tongue twister. You guys should try it. Squircle, square squirrel, staring at a cinnamon swirl. That'll dry out your mouth. I love the application of repetition. We have the spiral design in the cinnamon swirl, and we have the spiral design in the Squircle's tail, and the level of detail, like the squares on the mantelpiece, but then the flat colors in the background. The square to the Squircle's cheeks. So now it's not round cheeks, but it's square cheeks. Yeah, that's and also the Snaggletooth. I love the Snaggletooth. That Snaggletooth is awesome. Also, this is 5 by 5. Is that 5 by 5 centimeters or 5 by 5 inches? Because if it's 5, I wonder if it's 5 by 5 inches or 5 by 5 centimeters. Because, oh wow, if it's 5 by 5 centimeters, that is impossibly small. No, that's gotta be inches. That's gotta be inches. 5 by 5 centimeters would be this big. That's 5 centimeters, so I'm guessing inches. Which is still pretty small. Anyway, okay, moving on. Felix. Okay, Felix gave us a design. I don't know if Felix is in the chat room, but it says rush to bit just to post it. We'll continue working on it tomorrow, next week. And we do have a very interesting balance of value when you see the light parts that are the skin and then the dark parts. One thing here with the design that actually was not a part of the challenge, but it is very important when we talk about character design, is the juxtaposition of materials. And I think that we find that here very, very interesting. And basically what you see is you see the arms, helmet, and leg pieces that are metal contrasted to the skin and the cloth. So having a difference of materials also makes the character design work a lot better. So I think that is applied here very nicely. You have the cloth, the skin, and the metal. And then, for example, if you look at the middle of the dress, you have that metal belt. You have that metal belt there that's going to contrast with the material of the dress. So that's like a very, very nice sort of juxtaposition of materials. And it also allows for very interesting rendering, because you get if you look at the speculars on the metal and then you look at the highlights on the dress, you're going to get that different read of materials. So that's very, very nice. And also the level of detail. You get the metal that is all like engraved and stuff, but then the dress is clean and flat. That's some very nice design work right there. Okay, this next one is from Mao. I'm waiting to copy it. Okay, this next one is from Mao, and it says, it goes as follows. Ramona the Skater Vampire. She'll be Fang's enemy. So far, all I have on her is that she's a pure-blood vampire. She thinks she's better than anyone, especially Fang, who is only a half vampire. Although Ramona looks skinny, she's very strong, and is also a pyromancer of the Fire Clan of Vampires. That's why she can also be in the sunlight. Okay, then when we look at the design, there is a very, well, first of all, I have to admit, I have a huge weakness for women in overalls. It's like it's like a fetish. It's like a fetish. Women in overalls is just so sexy. So that's like, okay, I'm very, very focused on the woman in overalls. Also the yellow, like the very warm background with the purple trees is giving me these kind of sort of late 80s, early 90s, like Laguna Beach sort of vibe, which I believe goes very well with the whole skater Ramona thing. So I think the choice of background works very, very well because that is the vibe I'm getting. Like Laguna Beach. So yeah. I'm quite intrigued by the eyes though. Like the eyes, that pair of oh yeah. What Sabrina says. Wait, right here. There's a little spooky face right there. Yeah. So I'm very intrigued with the X eyes. Like is that the way they are? Like what's going on there? That is very, very intriguing to me. Okay. Okay, this next one, wow, very good participation today. Okay, this next one is from Kissing Wolves. And Kissing Wolf says, oh, so the eyes are just like placeholders for now? That could be some that could be some like makeup. Like she has, just eyes, but makeup done that way. So yeah, that's like a very 90s kind of goth skateboarder, which would be vampire skateboarder. Okay, so this one comes to us from Kissing Wolves, and Kissing Wolves says, first attempt at doing a black and white to color. Don't think the values are strong enough, but I'm unsure. Round owl, sharp crystals, and a sort of in-between branch. Possibly should have made more rectangular. The branch? No, I think the branch looks no, I think overall yeah, like Sabrina says, I think I see the points all there. You get the roundness of the owl, you get the pointiness of the owl eyebrows, which I don't know if they're called that, but whatever. The pointiness of the eyebrows and the beak, and the angular design of the crystals, they kind of add that sort of variety to it all. The values, I do think you got, but I think the reason you think you didn't get them is because you are thinking about values in terms of lighting, which still work. But in this case, the values are about contrasting dark areas in the design with light areas. And if you look, the owl has the outer dark parts and the inner light parts. And that basically is contrasting value, generating this shape in the owl, right? So that's like a very good kind of character design element where you get a shape inside the shape, right? So you got like you get like the general shape of the owl here, but then inside of that shape you get this shape, right? So if we're like looking at the owl like this, you get this shape, and then you get this shape inside of that shape, with the value here being the dark value. And then, so that establishes a very, very interesting design, right? Like that makes it so that, because when you can see a shape inside of the other shape, that gives a very, very interesting read. So I think it follows that very well, very well. So this is by Kissing Wolves. And finally, this one is from in the Discord Super, and I'm guessing this would be Felipe Jaramillo. I'm guessing this is Felipe Jaramillo. in the chat room. But in the Discord, super. And so Super says, by the way, that face looks phenomenal. After you were talking about the superheroes and how they were dying, I decided to make a homeless superhero. I think the only route for them to survive is to take them to the non-conventional route. Also, just noticed they made a movie about a homeless superhero. Don't remember the name. Are you thinking about Hancock? Because you could be talking about Hancock. Which, the first half of Hancock is phenomenal. The second half, not so much. But, it does have a political cartoon feel. It does have a political cartoon read. I really like the face. Like, the face is really, really nice. The shading with the pencil and all that really, really, really kind of makes the face, also the contrasting value. Capes always work very, very well when they contrast with whatever is inside. So you got the dark cape and the light body, so the cape works very well because it frames the body. So capes are always going to work very, very well when they contrast with the body. Or then you have the Batman cape, which is dark like the body, depending on which Batman we're talking about, of course. But you got the Batman cape which is the same as the body, but in that case, it's to make Batman just one big imposing shape. But capes that contrast with the body frame the body, and that's like really, really good on this cape. The perspective is also really, really quite nice. And I personally love details that you only see later on. So the bird that you don't notice at first and you just notice it after you've been looking at the image for a while, that's a very nice touch. I also love it when people do anatomy in perspective, because we normally see things like very, very flat. So this perspective makes the hero look smaller because we are above it. So that kind of really pushes the hero down, making the hero feel more downtrodden and, more in a bad situation. So that really works as well. So this one is from Felipe Jaramillo in the chat room and Super on Discord. Okay, let's go over what we got today. So this is a homeless superhero by Felipe Jaramillo. Here we have an owl sleeping on a branch. Why did I say branch that way? A branch. An owl sleeping on a branch by kissing bullets. Here we have Ramona, Fang's nemesis? Antagonist. Fang's antagonist. From Mao's... I think this is Mao's... we're going to see this project one day. One day Mao is going to drop this project on us, and we're not going to know what to do. We're not going to be able to handle it. We're not going to be ready. But you know what, Mao? I love that we're slowly getting lore for this world. Like, we know Fang, now we know Ramona. So we're slowly getting more and more of this world. Like, we know Fang is a half vampire. Now we're getting Ramona. Now... Okay, so this one is by Mao. This one is by Felix. A design of armor and cloth. Very nice. This one is by Altered Mage. Oh, Nightkel, it happens. Don't worry. It happens. I mean, hey, the simple fact that you try to do this stuff in 3D is already very admirable. So I don't suppose it always translates very well. In the case of 3D, I think first you would have to go with a drawn 2D design to then make it in 3D, and that I think is too much for 3 hours. Like, you could make a design and then make it in 3D. which is the proper way of making 3D, right? Like, I always find that when I do 3D, it always goes better if I do the 2D design first and then put it in 3D, but that just takes more time. Anyway, this one is by Altered Mage, and the Squircle won our hearts. Like, we did not enter today the chat room knowing that we would fall in love, but then Squircle came along, and our lives will never be the same. It is so lovely. This one is from Sabrina Brady. This is the very buff sorcerer and his spectral squirrels. Gotta love it. The squirrels are my favorite part. Also, because I know for a fact that squirrels are vicious little shits. Like, squirrels are vicious animals. They are cute, but they are not cute up close, and they are vicious. So anybody that's gonna show up with spectral squirrels to a fight, they win. They win. I'm not gonna get in that fight. And finally, oh, I did nothing. This is my design. If you guys do not understand my design, I'm sorry. That sounds like a you problem. Maybe you just don't. Maybe you're just not sensitive to art the way I am. You know, I'm not just an artist. I'm a designer. So maybe it's time you ask yourself some very uncomfortable questions. Anyway, what I did today was is actually, this is flipped. It's supposed to go this way. Basically, what I did today was at the beginning of the show, I did like a whole explanation of the concepts we were doing, and in that explanation, I designed this character, and then from there, I took that design and made this. So if anybody missed the explanation of shape, size, repetition, value, and detail design, then definitely watch the beginning of today's stream, because you'll find it there. So, has the potential of a fashion designer? Oh, trust me, I don't. I try to do it for the characters, but when it comes to actual clothes in real life, I find it so difficult to care. I find that trust me. Like Pew will testify that I wear clothes until it just falls off. Like I wear clothes until it disintegrates. But I do, yeah, costume design is great, and it is definitely something that I need to practice more, because that's what makes, that does make a lot of difference. In this case, because of time, the part of details is not being applied. As you can see, there's supposed to be a pattern on the cape, but in this case, I guess I would put that pattern on the inside of the cape. So, yeah. And I might have to play a little bit more with those values, because the dark cape inside, I think, is not contrasting too much with the pants. So as far as the value goes, I think that value needs a little bit of reconsideration. But the dark of the cape and the flow of the movement is definitely going there. Yes, the stripes on the sleeves definitely go with that. And in that case, I would have to add the stripes to her pants. I do want to finish this image. She's looking mighty fine. So I wanna finish this image. She looks very, very bitchy. And you gotta love him, bitchy. So, yeah, she's there looking good. You. Well, thank you. But that's gonna be it for tonight. Wow, we are 30 minutes over time. But okay, so before I go, so this is the new stream schedule. We've done 2 days of this new stream schedule, and unless anybody has anything unless anybody is extremely unhappy with it, I am actually liking this schedule better for now. Yes, I finish a little bit later. 6:30 instead of 5:30. But I like having the extra time before the stream rather than after the stream, right? It's like more, I get more done before the stream. After the stream, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to order food and play video games with you. So I really am liking this new schedule. So I'm going to keep it for now. Now, that being said, I will be back next Tuesday. And I'm probably going to be working on some Traveler RPG images. They did tell me that I'm going to be getting some new specs coming in on Monday. So I'm probably going to be working on Traveler RPG images next Tuesday. And then Friday we'll have the art challenge. I'm trying to make these art challenges something that we can learn from more than just drawing difficult things. The end. Although those are also fun, but I'm trying to make these more things that kind of give us lessons for what we do. So I'm gonna continue with them. I'm gonna keep it that way. So in case you guys are liking that, well then I'm gonna continue doing that. That being said, you have been watching the Ministry of Abnormality YouTube live broadcast, and I have been your host, O Abnormal. Today has been Friday, May 12th of 2023. Today we discovered the word and the creature Squircle, and our lives will never be the same for it. It also marked the birth of Ramona and the spectral squirrels. So overall, I would say that was a very productive stream. Thank you to all the artists that participated in the art challenge. We will have an art challenge next Friday, so remember, everybody's welcome to join. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a very fun and sexy weekend. Again, thank you to all the people that participated. I will see you next Tuesday, and until then, good hunting, stay naughty, and goodbye. Okay, that was damn efficient. I like that. So my mouth is feeling a little dry, and you know what I did? I learned today that it's more difficult to do tongue twisters with a dry mouth. Let's try it again. Squircle, square squirrel, staring at a cinnamon swirl. That's a tongue twister right there. I love it. Then again, with a very wet mouth, it's also very difficult. So I don't know. I guess your mouth has to be neutral for tongue twisters.